Today is, what's today? September 12th. It's 11:55. I know you're tired of seeing this robe, but I'm tired of seeing it too, actually. I want a new robe. And I want one that's more furry. Even though this keeps me warm, but also another pink one because obviously my favorite color is pink. But that's neither here nor there. I will not be going to campus today. I woke up at 10:34 and I always wake up to an alarm to make sure I get up so that way I get dressed in time to make the shuttle to go to campus to get food. But I got a whole bunch of food in the freezer. And I don't want that stuff to sit there so long and get freezer burns. And then I end up having to throw it away. I'm going to go put me on a pizza in the oven. First of all, hey y'all, it's your girl Shavonda. Yo, welcome back to my channel. But yeah, I'm just sitting here in my room, TV not on, just scrolling on TikTok. And honestly, I would be doing work, but I have absolutely no work to do because the teachers haven't posted any assignments. None. And I tried to send an email last night, around 4, on behalf of one of my clients. But the email keep bouncing back, which I don't understand why. The email is correct, so I don't understand why it's bouncing back. It's like email not delivered. So I have to figure out how to send that email before today's over because we have to have a meeting to discuss next Wednesday or something like that, or maybe Thursday. Let me go ahead and put this piece in the oven before I actually sit here all day without eating. I don't know. There's a lot of shit been going on lately. Y'all already know on social media what happened to that man. But then all of a sudden HBCUs are being attacked. That don't make no sense to me. None. All HBCUs in the South. Like, I don't get it. Yikes. It's a whole bunch of discourse going on right now. It's crazy. I ain't even trying to get into that. I ain't trying to argue with nobody. None of that. Let me be productive today. By productive, I mean going to make me some food. I had to tell y'all something, but I don't know. People eat weird shit every day, right? Nah, I'm not ready to tell y'all what I ate last night. But I do want me some crab legs. I want me a seafood boil. I do. Or I want me some boiled daddy. He got this, I had it before. It was buy one, get one free. I remember the first time I bought it, it didn't come with the free thing. So I'm like, did they lie to me? But no, you have to put two things in order for it to count as free. It's white rice with shrimp, the sauce that they make, lemon, potatoes, and corn. Yeah, that was mad good. I could eat that for lunch and dinner. But let me eat what's in the freezer first before I decide to buy some food on Uber Eats. So, yeah. I'll be right back with my food. My pizza, it's a whole big old thing of pizza. So I got pizza to eat for lunch and dinner. So, yeah, I got me 3 slices. Pepperoni. I really wanted the pizza that had like bacon and pepperoni, or probably just bacon and cheese. I would have been satisfied with that. But I'm satisfied with what I'm eating now. And I'm grateful. Okay? So, I'll see you guys probably later because the camera needs to go on the charger. So, peace out. Okay, y'all. So, it's Sunday. I know I said I was going to come back. That was Friday. And I was going to resend the email. Unfortunately, on Friday, I went to sleep at 1 something and I woke up at 5. That was, yeah, 4 hours. So by the time I woke up, it was way too late to be sending the email. So, like once I woke up, I was like, damn, I was supposed to send that email and I was supposed to put my camera on the charger. The camera has not been on the charger. It's still at 1 bar, I mean. I'm washing some clothes. I just finished washing the sheets. I still have these pillowcases in the actual. I have this. I washed the top part of this sheet. So I'm gonna put all of that in there and finish eating dinner. Well, I still got some more left. I'm watching Strawberry Shortcake. And I'm just laying here waiting for my clothes to finish washing so I can put it in the dryer. And then, yeah, I need something to watch. I think I'm going to watch this show called Matlock that come out on Paramount Plus. I think it's like on season 2 or something like that. So I got a good amount of episodes to watch. I was watching this show called Irish Blood with Alicia Silverstone. For those of you who don't know her, she plays Cheryl in Clueless. Truthfully, honestly, I don't even know the last time I watched Clueless, but that's not the point. The show that she's in is called Irish Blood. Obviously, her family is Irish. What the fuck is that? Is that a spider? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's not. But yeah, her on her father's side, they're Irish. I don't know what her father was. I don't know if he was a lawyer or something. No, she's a lawyer. But something happened to where she was younger. She assumed that her father was beating on her mother. So that's the image she grew up with. But it was like her mother left. The father never came back. But then the father randomly died. And she went over there for the funeral. Her grandmother on her father's side, the father's mother, never really knew she had a kid. But they was living in an area where they kept it that way because the father was into some shady stuff. He was gambling, dead old people, and then eventually they got caught up to him. So now her father put some stuff up. It's like, if anything happens to me, I want you to figure out what happened to me. She did all of that and come to terms with one of his best friends who's now a priest. I don't know if he's a priest or a pastor. I don't know what he is. I forgot what they said. They were supposed to be best friends, but they both had a thing for Alicia's character. Her name is Fiona. They both had a thing for Fiona's mom, but The mother never took the other guy serious, took Fiona's father serious. The mother thought she was gonna rekindle something. Come to find out, the best friend had something to do with the death of her father, and then it was like the father betrayed them. But then come to find out, it was none of those people who she had in mind who killed him. It was the sister, her aunt, the father's sister. They was arguing and shit, and he said some shit. He said some stuff to her, and she pushed him out of anger off a cliff, and then made up some stuff that made it all up. I was confused, and I'm like, so you knew all of that the whole fucking time, and you let your niece go around getting herself in danger with all of these people who had nothing to do with the death of her father, and you, the one that did it. What? Like, are you serious? Are you damn serious? I was gonna say you fucking stupid, but are you serious? But I guess. Yo, that's insane for real. But yeah, I'm gonna put this camera down. Yo, last night, well, first of all, every Saturday we have a class. After class, we're supposed to do what you call it, a journal entry to talk about what we did in class and what we learned. So it's like a learning experience. Doing breakout groups, talk about stuff. The teacher asks us questions. We respond to the questions. We gotta think. We gotta understand what that did to our emotional and mental side. How it changed us socially. And now, usually, maybe like a Tuesday or a Wednesday after Saturday. Hold on. Damn, I don't remember that. Oh, usually after class, you write that shit immediately so you won't forget. And I usually do it like on a Monday, Tuesday. And then on Friday, I'll go to campus and I'll print it out and stuff so I can have it ready for Saturday. I waited a whole week. Yesterday, I wrote that. And I was having a hard time remembering what the flip we talked about. But then at the end of the day, well, I talked to one of my classmates and we was really like, because she didn't remember either. And I'm like, I was really early to class, way early than expected, because remember the last 2 times I was late. And I'm like, this is what happened, going down what happened point by point in class. And I'm like, well, when you remember and I remember, it seems as if we're remembering the same thing, because so really it made it seem like I wasn't remembering anything at all, but I really was. We didn't really do much in class. We broke out into breakout groups twice. Somebody's phone wasn't working. And then, the professor asked questions, but a lot of us didn't answer, so it wasn't really much for us to remember. So we really wasn't talking. We only had to remember the big question when we all broke out into that one big group, which I didn't share because we didn't really have enough time, and people was taking a long time with just saying what they had to say. But all in all, eventually we remembered. We didn't really do much in class. PowerPoints, like the lectures, breakout groups twice, and then lunch. And we went home. All right, y'all. Let me go find something to watch. Why is my ponytail lopsided? All right, y'all. So today is Monday, September 15th, right? So I have this capstone project. I'm sure I told y'all, but if I didn't, I'm going to say it again. So I got this capstone project due October 4th, right? You have to come up with 10 questions to ask a rehabilitation counselor or a licensed professional counselor. It could be a licensed clinical social worker. It has to be licensed, right? So I went on Google, typed in psychology today, where you go find the different therapists, counselors, in whatever state you are in. I specifically choose black male, black female, but more so black female counselors, right? And I looked up four. I found this one called therapy for black women, but I just couldn't find an email to send them, right? So I'm like, damn, that's out of the question. And then I found like two more, technically three, three more. And then this lady that I emailed beforehand in one of my other classes, it was my marriage and family counseling class, right? Marriage and family therapy counseling class. I emailed her before. That was like, I think that was last semester or the semester before, the fall semester 24, right? And she responded. So I'm like, let me go ahead and email her again to see if she respond, right? She didn't respond. And then I found this lady and I'm like, I emailed her and she said she couldn't help me. So I'm like, I didn't even reply to the message because, okay, thank you for telling me that you can help me, which I'm pretty sure she probably, I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into that. But I found like four people to email, basically five. I emailed one of my professors because my mentor told me to email her because she wouldn't mind doing it. I had to also remember she is one person that also doesn't respond to her emails. So I'm like, well, she's out of the question. So I'm like, oh shoot, I could email the person that responsible for not she's responsible. She chose me for a scholarship. And I'm like, oh shoot, she could have been the first person that emailed. Like it slipped my mind because I was also going for black women. And I'm like, I don't know, she could have been the first person that emailed and got it out of the way. I could have emailed her last week, she would have responded. Like, and I know she responds quickly, especially when it comes to me. I've had her like twice, maybe three times as a professor in undergrad and grad school. So I'm like, I don't even know why it took me that long to even reach out to her. So she will be getting back to me hopefully Thursday because I have a discussion that's due on Thursday and it's one of the questions is basically based off of the answer that she gave to the questions and also the name of the offsite place where she worked at and stuff. I'm like, that is the most, I don't even know why I didn't think of her before. Like she could have been the first person in mind, but I went somewhere else. And she said she literally is group counseling and stuff like that, and she's worked in group counseling. So I still don't understand why it took me that long to even think of her. But yeah, I was trying to like think of other people, not go for the same type of people that I usually go for. Want to do something different. But yeah, my questions hopefully will be here by Thursday, and I will be able to officially start my capstone. And we have like, so this is going into the 5th week. After that, 2 more weeks left of class as we will be done October 4th. One class out of the way, and then October 20th. Remember that other 7-week class I was telling y'all about where the professor wasn't posting nothing? And I'm like, let me email one of my classmates to see if they see anything because maybe they just forgot to put me in the class and I'm just late to receiving emails and stuff like that. No, that class don't start until October and it ends like the first week of October, the first week of December probably. But if this professor posts all the assignments, I'll just do the assignments and then post it weekly. Like I already Like, I don't like waiting last minute. I like when I get all my stuff. And the main reason why I like to do that is because, like, for instance, let's talk about statistics, right? Statistics and research. I have a professor. We meet. Let me see. What time is it? It's 5:03. Class starts soon. Hold on. Okay. It says. Okay, good. Because this was financial aid. I got a response, thank God, because it's my last year of grad school. And they sent the email out, the person in charge of grad school was like, if you don't pay or your stuff is not hitting by September 26th, they will be forced to like drop you in all your classes. I'm like, oh no, this is my last year of grad school. And I know I did my financial aid. I always do my financial aid to make sure it's covered for the whole semester. Like, I don't even play like that. I don't want to wait until it be my last year of grad school or the last year of the semester of grad school to have something happen, and I got to figure out another way to get another loan to pay that off. And that's just not. That's just not. Whenever it comes to financial aid, I'm always on top of it. I don't even like that. And there's a lot of people that has issues going on with their financial aid, and it's not more so on their end. It's more so that they have the financial aid and the money to pay for it, but certain schools is not willing to let them use their scholarship money to cover the balance that they need for schools. Like, what do you mean we're no longer taking scholarship money in order to use for the thing? I'm like, that's crazy to me. But I just needed to make sure that, like, I seen it pending, but it also said that this was due. And I'm like, oh, nah. Oh, nah. And mind you, back in July is when I went into the system and I selected it. And I accepted my awards and stuff like that. Because there was once a time where I didn't even know that, because it was a new system at the time, I didn't know you had to go in and accept it, because we never had to do that. It was already automatically just posted in August. But as the year goes by, they always change the system and make it easier for the other people that's seeing it and stuff like that, because I guess it used to be so much work when you had to go by list the names and all the other stuff. I mean, like, I can understand y'all changing up the system and stuff like that, but like I was saying, I didn't even realize that I had to accept the awards, or I probably went in there and accidentally canceled it. And it was like, oh, you don't get financial aid, you got to pay. I'm like, oh, now what? It said I get financial aid. It said, oh, they said you canceled it. And I'm like, oh, no. Click accept. And you have to put the amount in that you're getting. Because I think that's what it was. It said a certain amount. And I'm like, that sounds like a lot. And I think I chose less than what I was actually supposed to get. I was like, oh, you got to go do it over and put the actual amount. I was like, oh, it confused me. I was confused. It's 5:06. I need to take out my computer so I can log on to class. 5:20. Class was in person, but I emailed the professor and I said, I do not feel well, so I will not be in class physically, but I will be online. Because I don't want, like, I'll be there, so I'm present, meaning I'm here. Don't put me as not here, because when you give the lecture, I will be joining the class. And this is the professor who just never responds. And I've had him one time before my first year of grad school. I had him as a professor, but he also works closely with my mentor and Ticket to Work. And I just don't understand how you do not respond to your students' emails. Like, you only respond when it's time for assignments to be due. Everybody is confused. Why are you waiting until the assignments is due to respond? And then you're supposed to be somebody's advisor, and you're not doing no advisor type stuff. Like, what happens if these people have certain credits and it's all mixed up and they got to figure out what they need to take in order to graduate literally coming up in the next semester? You just not going to respond? That's crazy to me. But yeah, I'm going to sign on to class online. And it's like a hybrid type of class. So it's like, last week we had class. This week we got class. Next week, Monday, we don't have class. But it's like every single time we go in person, again, because this is a statistics class, you're going to be working like on the formulas and things of that nature. Like, so it won't be hard or whatever. I'm just like, if you post all the PowerPoints for us to look at, that's another reason why because I know I started saying a couple things and I switched. So I'm gonna go back to what I was originally saying before, with all the assignments being posted, and I wanted to use statistics as a example. We could be going over a certain topic that could be hard, right? Nothing is hard until you teach yourself how to do it. The professor can teach you, but sometimes people don't learn that way. They have to teach themselves. So if we are talking about a specific topic in class, right? Don't wait until 2 or 3 weeks later to give a quiz on a topic you taught 3 weeks ago and think I'm going to remember that. And then he don't always post the PowerPoints every day. So just post the PowerPoints, because I'm more so of a write everything down verbatim in my notes so I could go back and look at it step by step so it can help me. And this class is an open book class for the quizzes. So you have your notes to go look back on. But not every PowerPoint that he goes over is on Blackboard. So now it's like, and sometimes I have selective memory. My brain is one of those brains where it's like, it pick and chooses what's really important to remember. Like eventually, statistics will come in hand if I want to pursue a PhD, because you have to do those type of hypotheses. Um, you have to do those type of things and break down the math and all these different tests and stuff like that to go in hand with what you're trying to do and what you're trying to defend. Maybe I should have took statistics beforehand, but I wish it probably would have been better for me if it was an online class. I think before, see, the difference is before, I don't think I was ever a good, now that I'm thinking about it, elementary school, middle school, high school, I was never, well, high school was a little bit different. I was a little bit better in high school because I was able to read the stuff myself and. But elementary school and middle school, it was mostly like if I'm sitting in class, I still gotta have that one-on-one time with the teacher. It's just like a one-on-one time with yourself, knowing everything, teaching yourself the stuff. I don't even know if I'm explaining that right. But now I realize the difference. Once I came back to school during the pandemic and everything was online, you go at your own pace. You don't have class all the time. It's a once in a while thing. Or you might have class Tuesday and Wednesday. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where you can sit to yourself and read to understand what's going on. Like, because I had a hearing loss, and I had speech, and I had speech therapy basically, and a hearing therapy basically, speech teacher and a hearing teacher. They instilled on me to, if you don't know something, ask, and if you still don't understand it, keep writing it down until you get it. And I just took that. So I think I learn better when classes are online and I have enough time to know it myself. That's how come I'm always eager to do all my assignments right when I get it. Because if I wait a little bit long, the information is not going to stay. I can't retain the information for a certain amount of time. It's actually so crazy to me. Like I read the articles and I write the papers and stuff like that. Like this is pissing me off. 5:12 class starts at 5:20, so I'm gonna get off here and I'm gonna come back when class is finished, or I might just set the camera up so y'all can see what we're talking about in class. Okay? And in the background, y'all hear Strawberry Shortcake. I don't know what it is, but I've been watching Strawberry Shortcake for the past 2 or 3 days. It's just the same old reruns, going from the old version of Strawberry Shortcake to the newer version, but just reruns. And I don't know what made me think of this question, because I did the same thing with the Incredible movie, right? Where are their parents? Strawberry and her sister was no longer, probably like 2 or 3 years old, and it was just Strawberry and her little sister. You ain't see no mother, you ain't see no grandmother, you ain't see no dad. They just in the village with everybody else. They all kids. Where are the parents? No mention of them or anything like Dora. When the newer season came, you start seeing Dora, and then her mother had babies, and then Diego, I think his father, and Dora and Diego were cousins, so we got to see a little bit family background with them. And then when I was talking about the Incredible movie, it was like Helen. I think the mother name was Helen. She was called into the school because Jack is the baby. Dash. Dash ass put a tat on the teacher chair, but because he's really fast, nobody could really see him do that, right? And the teacher knew he did it. The teacher had suspicion, but they brought him into the office. They brought the mother to the office to say he did this. But I'm like, when she got back into the car, the baby was in the back of the car. She never took the baby into school, so she left the baby in the car. What? It's like when you watch these things as kids, you don't be seeing nothing of it. But then you get older, it's like, what the? Where the parents? Why would you leave the baby in the back of the car? What's going on? Like, the whole Incredibles movie. This lady thought her husband was having an affair on her. Come to find out, no, he's just taking side quests to try to save the world. But she thought he was having an affair. As kids, we're not going to catch that. But when you get older, you're like, oh, I see you, girl. I understand the anger and the frustration. But yeah, that's besides the point. I'm going to set the camera up for class. I'm going to take out the computer, get the charger, get my notebook out. All things possible. I'll be back.
Like a fraction. It's like 1 divided by 2. Type in the 1 first, divided by 2. So whatever's on top, plug that in first, and what's on the bottom, plug that in second. Okay? The big thing that you guys might not be familiar with, or just may not remember from your youth, was how to square. Let's turn the volume down, please, on the computer if you're here in the audio. So, squaring, who's up? Whose volume's up? Who's got me sound like that reggae next day? Okay, good, thank you. Robert, welcome. He said, That good of a day, huh? Well, when you come to this classroom, leave all the drama behind. This is a happy place, you guys. Yes. Happy place. It's that. Let me change your attendance, Robert. So, key things that you're going to have to deal with that are different that you might not remember is squaring and square root. Okay? Squaring and square root. So when you do your x minus x bar squared, okay, you do your x minus the x bar. So your x bar is what? What's the x bar stand for again? Huh? Mean. That's right. Your x bar is the mean. You add everything up divided by n. Okay, so x minus x bar, once you take each raw score and you subtract the mean, you have to square them. So if your x minus x bar, for example, is, I don't know, 4.3, you need to square it. So you click on that x squared. Okay, that will square a number. Okay, now, once you solve for the variance, okay, then you need to solve for the standard deviation. The variance is represented by that sigma squared, that lowercase sigma squared. So if the standard deviation is represented by the lowercase sigma, in order to figure out what a squared number is, whatever the number that is squared is, you just do square root. Okay? So if your variance is 14, you would click on that little 2 with the check mark with the X under it. That's the button that you click for the square root. So the square root of 14 is 3.74. So if your variance were 14, in order to figure out the standard deviation, you would type in 14 and then the square root like 3.74. That would be your standard deviation. Okay? Everything else on here is pretty straightforward when it comes to solving for these equations. Addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. I don't even know if there's multiplication. I don't think there is. I don't think there's multiplication in there. Okay? Let me record. I haven't recorded yet. Okay? So again, 2 buttons that you gotta worry about. Square. Okay? So if you're squaring your x minus x bar, if your x minus x bar is, let's say, 1.3, negative 1.3, then you square it. Click on the x squared. It's 1.69. That would be your x minus x bar squared. Okay? Then, once you solve for your variance, so if your variance were, I don't know, 3.8, you need to solve for the standard deviation, just click on the square root. Then square with the little check and the x. That's square root. So the square root of 3.8, so if your variance were 3.8, your standard deviation would be 1.95. Not 1.94 because it's 1.949. 9 is greater than 5, therefore you would round up to 4. You're looking at the third number that follows the decimal point to determine whether that second number that follows the decimal should stay as it is or go up 1. Okay? Everybody straight?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions about the calculator? How you'll use it for the week 4 homework? Good? All right. Week 4 homework is here. Let's see. It's under the week 4 folder. Week 4 homework. So in order to do your homework, you click on the title of the file. Okay, and then it'll go to the assignment. What you need to make sure that you do is click on that drop down. Not the drop down, I'm sorry, the ellipses, the little 3 dots. Click on the ellipses and then click download original file. You'll download the original file and then open it in Word. Save it wherever you're going to be on your computer. So if you have a CORH627 folder on your computer, or if you name it something else like my favorite class, or this class stinks, whatever you want to do it, as long as you know where it is, and then maybe save each week. So week 4, week 5, week 6. And then save your file there, or save it somewhere where it makes sense. Then, once it is saved to your computer the way that I've saved it, then you make your edits within the document. Okay? And you make your edits within the document. So if you see in your homework, I'm asking you for the mean median mode. I'm asking you to calculate the variance and standard deviation. Mean is the first thing that you're going to need to do in order to do the x minus x bar. Okay? All you do is subtract the mean from each of the raw scores here. Then you guys square each of them. I just showed you guys how to do it with a calculator. Okay? Once you square them, then you add them all up. Okay? And that's what you use to solve for the variance. Now, you have the equation for variance right here. It's sum of x minus x bar squared, so the sum of all these divided by n minus 1. What's n? The total number of participants. So total number of participants minus 1. That's n minus 1. So that's how you will solve the variance. It's very straightforward. I think you guys are going to do really well. I think you guys might surprise me. I was very surprised at how many 100% I had on this first week, like 2 semesters ago. I was very surprised. I think that you guys might surprise me too. Standard deviation, then I want you to tell me what's the estimated percentile for the participant with the highest and the lowest Z-score. Highest and lowest Z-score. Remember, like when you look at your negatives, it's not your lowest negative number. Like if you have -1 and -3, okay, you wouldn't say -1 is the lowest because remember, you're starting at 0 and you're moving away from 0 in the negative direction. So 0, -1, -2, -3 standard deviations below the mean. So the higher the negative Z-score, that represents the lowest percentile.
Okay, y'all, so class ended an hour early. Well, it ended at 6:30. To my surprise. Wait, where'd my phone go? I gotta respond back to my friend.
Did you hear me, guys? Huh? Did you? Sounded like a real pro. I should have listened to you from the start.
And then I need to say also I'm sick. The discussion that is not what I actually wanted to. When we do our research, is it based on what we wrote? Discussion, or is it on the article? Because something that I want to do a dissertation on when I got to the PhD process. If we're gonna be doing research now, I want to do that research right now, if I have the chance, if I can switch it. I mean, I already did the article for the other, I already did the assignment for the empirical article, but we didn't turn it in yet. But he's seen the 2 articles that I chose for assignment 1 and 2. Decisions, just want to clarify on my study partner. So yeah, until she responds, she probably gonna respond in like a couple seconds. But I made me some pizza rolls. I got my Stanley, my water. Gonna put on a movie, relax a little bit, and then go back to doing some work. I need a moment. I need a minute. A minute. Why did I say that? I need a minute. I need a couple. I probably need an hour or 2. I'll start doing this shit back at 10 o'clock. Because I don't have class tomorrow until 4. I just don't want to be up till 4 o'clock in the morning again because I was so tired. And honestly, I don't even feel like I ever went to sleep. I just had my eyes closed until, well, I didn't have an alarm set. So until I think probably like 2 hours, I probably got some sleep. Because my eyes was closed for a long time, but my body wasn't rested. No, my body was rested, but my mind wasn't. It was going. So it took me a little longer to go to sleep. But I was up watching movies. I was watching Snake on the Plane, House on Haunted Hill, House on Haunted Hill 2. I started to watch. I'll always know what you did last summer. The 3rd fucking movie in the, I know what you did last summer fucking movie. I was going to start that. I was like, hell no, I'm going to sleep. Yeah, I don't know. But, bye. Maybe I'll pick the camera back up. Okay, so it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh, class ended at 6:30 today. Well, being that it's 1 o'clock yesterday. So class ended at 6:30. But I'm still glad that I came home. I'm so glad. Because I would go all the way to campus, eat lunch 11, 12 o'clock, and stay there until 5:20 and leave at 7:50. Because I know myself. If I leave here to go to campus to eat lunch and come back, I'm not going back for class. That's why it's like, I don't understand. The only way you will be able to get me to actually enjoy, well, not even enjoy. I would have to be on campus to go, live on campus to go to that class. But living off campus, you have to catch the shuttle, where there's possibly not enough space on the shuttle to go to campus. And then it's traffic. So imagine me leaving at 4 something to get to campus. And it's like 5:30. But like, who would leave at 4 o'clock if you know there's traffic? Leave at 3 so you get there like 4:45. And then on top of that, what if I didn't have any food in the freezer or food in the fridge? So after class, I would have to walk over to the cab to get dinner, to wait for the shuttle, to leave at 8:30, to be back at my room by 9 p.m. Mondays are the only days where I eat dinner so late. You know what I need? I need some melatonin so I can take it at a certain time so it can put my ass to bed. I had some melatonin, but I left them home, and I don't even, I swear, I put them in my suitcase and have absolutely no idea where they are. Like, I checked everywhere, and I had 2 suitcases when I brought 2 suitcases with me. So I hope I didn't sweep it up, but I'm gonna buy me some melatonin, and I hope it puts me to sleep because my body, if it's not tired, it's not gonna go to sleep. I cannot force myself to go to sleep. Well, maybe I can. Oh no, if I close my eyes and listen to some rain, some thunder sounds, I might be able to go to sleep. I need to put that bowl in the fucking sink. I need to move all of this stuff off the bed. I need to turn the air on. You hear the show? Sugarcane, strawberry, 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 sugarcane. But I'm watching this show. Well, first of all, it's a show with Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk, right? So this one, it's actually both the shows is on HBO, but one of the shows came out in like 2020, right? But his other show is called Taz. There's only 2 episodes. I hate when they drop. I hate when it's a show that comes on weekly every Sunday. I don't want to have to wait till Sunday to watch the episode. I just don't. I just absolutely do not want to wait every week. Just post the damn season. But it's like every episode gets better. So it's like you're watching all of it in one sitting. But still, like even when, because there was a time where on certain times where they used to post 2 episodes at once. Or 3 episodes maybe. But I guess because it's a mini series, they can't post it all like that. Shit. Netflix do it. I mean, well, Netflix is different. The only thing on Netflix that might come weekly are the dating shows, I think. I don't know. I don't watch the dating shows on Netflix. I only was watching Love Island. And truthfully, after that last season, season 7, I don't even think I want to watch it because they let certain people get away with a lot of shit. And they start victimizing the person with the worst behavior. That's fucking stupid to me. And putting her on the highest pedestal when everybody said her behavior was terrible. Calling people out their names, which if the men did it, obviously, it wouldn't be good. Yo, I was trying to part my hair. I don't have a comb, a rat tail comb, but I'm gonna use this. And this part's still not even fucking straight. I don't even know if y'all seen it or not, but oh, this other show I'm watching with Mark Ruffalo, it is called I Know This Much Is True. He plays identical twin brothers. One brother is paranoid schizophrenic. He's in this he was in this facility, and then he had a psychotic episode. He went to the library. He started reciting these words, a scripture basically, and he had a knife. I'm not sure what type of knife it was. It looked like a mini machete, and he cut his hand off and said it was a sacrifice. But it's like, so the brother that did that, the paranoid schizophrenic, his name is Thomas, and then the other brother is Dominic. Dominic is the more stable one. He doesn't have any mental illnesses, just Thomas. He doesn't understand why they moved him from the other facility to this new facility and why they switched his doctors. And he keeps saying that his brother is not violent, but He's not a danger, but he's a danger to himself. So he needs the right doctors to sit with him and talk him through what's going on in his mind that made him assume that he had to make a sacrifice. That's what it is, and he's not getting it. And he's just like, I don't, because he was so comfortable with his brother being at this one place, which I understand, it's his brother's routine. He knows that if his brother like goes out of this routine, he gets flustered, frustrated, mad, angry, emotional. But it's like, we need to put you in a new space, in a different facility, so we are able to work with you through your emotions. So we could figure out best way possible to help you. His mental state is becoming worse. He can't stay at the other facility. Even though he only has one hand, he can still harm himself with the other and also possibly harm the others around him. Even though you say he's not a violent person, but it's really not like his mindset is not where it was at that time. Remember, his mother passed away. He hasn't been going to see his mother, and he kind of knows that Dominic is kind of upset, frustrated because he showed that he was upset. Like, you wanted to come with me to see mom, but you won't go in the room. And you know she's been sick, and you know she really doesn't have much left to live. Now, whether he has his illness, but he's still aware. He can make his own decisions. His decision was not to go see his mom. Maybe because he didn't want to see her that way, or maybe he felt like God was telling him. He was trying to figure out what it is that God was trying to tell him, because he's been reading newspapers, and this is set in the 1980s, late 1980s. 1980s. I think I'm saying that right. They were born. I don't know who was born first. I'm not sure if I remember hearing saying, but I do know that they're identical twins, but one was born December 31st, 1946, and then 6 months later, the other one was born. So December 31st, 1949, and January 1st, 1950. So essentially, yeah, that's how they were born. And it was in a newspaper, and then, in certain times when people with mental illnesses did certain things, or it like affected the whole family, it became the talk of the town. Like, you know how back then, if a new set of twins, maybe quintuplets, sextuplets, quints, I did say quintuplets, quadruplets, triplets, if multiples came out and it was the first time to have those, but identical twins came out on different parts of the year. So that's like, oh wow, we ain't never seen that shit before. But they trying to make it seem like him cutting his hand off is some type of thing that they want to, the newspaper, they want to, post in the newspaper. They want to make money off the situation. And this girl that Dominic is dating, she's trying to put him in that situation where she'd be like, yeah, take a picture with your brother. And because he said they want to give him $500 to take a picture with his brother. Because remember, these are the twins that was born on separate, different days. The last day of the year and the new day of the year. So it's kind of like, oh, where have the twins been at? We haven't seen them since they was born. Oh, one of the twins who was born during this time cut his hand off in because they always used to assume people with mental illnesses and call them freaks, but they're not. They just are not able to regulate what's going on in their minds, and it's affecting them in how they are in their social lives, in the social environment around other people. $500 to take a picture with his brother, and $1,000 to take a picture of his brother without the hand. Excuse me? You trying to get me to make money off the situation with my brother, exploit my situation with my brother. And then they got this damn stepfather. One of the scenes, the first episode, was a scene where they was eating at lunch. They couldn't talk. Well, I interpreted it as they couldn't talk all day, and then they started, because they was tiptoeing, whispering around the house all day. Because clearly the stepfather was abusive, and he was raising the boys like, oh, if I do something, you need to do it. First of all, you're being aggressive with the kids. You're hurting them, and then you're telling them don't cry, or I'm gonna give you something to cry about, and then telling the mother not to interfere or comfort her own child. It was during those times where the men work, women stay home, and whatever. Because I don't think they ever said anything about the mother working, anything of that. But I'm only on episode 2, and yeah. I hope nothing else happens to Thomas. I'm gonna be very sad if something happens to him, because it's clearly like they're identical. They don't have the same emotions, but Dominic feels as though he has to take care of his brother because obviously that's what his mother would have wanted him to do. Meanwhile, the stepfather's like, why do you always like coddle him? He is not mentally there to understand. He understands a little bit. He understands his emotions, but he cannot control it. If he's not in charge of what's going on in that moment, he's going to be frustrated and he's going to cause, I don't want to say cause a scene, but cause a scene. Like, you can't tell him what to do with his brother. Truthfully, honestly, you was married to the mother, but you're not their biological father, and they are way of age, and he has the authority to say and tell who to do what with his brother. Now, when it comes to violence, that's a whole other different thing. You can't pick and choose when you want to say something. Even though your brother wasn't a danger before, he's a danger now, and we have to stop and treat him before it gets worse. But yeah, all of that. I just be coming up here yapping. I know y'all tired of me yapping. And honestly, truly, I don't have nothing else to do but yap. Oh, I do have a homework assignment. That's due on like the 20th, 22nd, I think. The fuck, I don't remember. But I do have class tomorrow. I want to go to campus tomorrow and I want to go to the pantry. But I have no idea what time the pantry is open. But I do know is that I'm going to go because I'll see my friend on Friday. I'm just going to go to campus, go to the pantry. I might I might. I might take my to-go, my Tupperware, so I can go get some food. Tomorrow's Tuesday, yeah. Tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. I don't really know. I think I'm gonna eat some tacos and then get a burger or something to go. Maybe. Or I don't fucking know. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Will I bring my camera with me? No. Because this shit is big as hell and I don't got time to be walking around campus with like this. No. Just not doing that. Not quite there yet. I don't even think I would do that with the small camera. I honestly just don't like people looking at me. I like just having my headphones on and walking. I'll do everything in the comfort of my own space. Or when I go to my internship and I sit in my office and I record, yeah. But okay, I have tomorrow to do it. I still never sent that email, y'all, and I was told to call the people that sit at the front desk. The receptionist, yes. I was told to call the receptionist to ask what's the number or the email. But it's like the email is there. I just don't understand why it's bouncing back. Like it's the correct email. I saw it on the website. But why is it bouncing back? That's the question that I had. I was supposed to put those clothes up yesterday. But let me go ahead. I'm just talking. What time is it? 1:20. I'm going to close the camera out. Might put on the charger, might not. Don't know, don't care. And I'll see you guys, if not tomorrow, in the next vlog. Okay, so hey y'all. It's Tuesday. Um, I never made it to the caf to get lunch, and I never went to the pantry to go pick out a few items for myself. I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning watching, what was I watching? That show I was talking about previously with Mark Ruffalo. The ending was sad because, bro, the whole time, first of all, remember I said they're identical twins, and a part of the story is like Dominic, the brother who wasn't mentally ill, all he wanted to know was about his dad. His mother, but it was like his mother just waited until she was sick to come around and give him something. It was like a little diary journal book that his grandfather wrote. He couldn't really read it because it was in his father's handwriting and he couldn't understand, so he gave it to somebody to translate, right? The girl ran off with the papers because, first of all, weird, he never gave that lady his address. He only had her phone number. So she randomly popped up at his house. He invited her in because I'm still confused as to why you showed up at my apartment. But then she was like, I'm not finished with it. I'm like in the middle of it. Your grandfather was a terrible man, and do not give this to your mother to read. Because it, so my whole point was when he was reading the thing, I can't say when he was reading the thing, but basically, she came in there, he made food, drinks and stuff. He was basically following her lead. But then she came on to him and he like, I just want you to translate the paper. And then she started saying, oh, sexual harassment and all this other stuff. But it's like, I didn't do nothing. You came on to me. And then she ran out of his place drunker than ever. Drove drunk home. He went back the next day, was like, okay, well, where did she go? She withdrew from her program because I think she was in the middle of like, I think it was like a PhD or something like that. But then it's like she was working at the school, he came to her for her services. Like, you work at the school, okay, I'm coming to you because this is what you do. She ran up with the paper and he was mad because it's like I gave one of your employees and you telling me you can't give me her address to go see what I mean, you're not supposed to give nobody the address. But he was very mad. But then remember his brother listening to God and God telling him he's a sacrifice. He sacrificed his hand, the right hand, cut it off. And because of that, he had to go into an asylum. I got class in 2 minutes. It's 3:58. I got class in 2 minutes. But there was this guy who was working at the facility where his brother was at. And these were kids, like they all grew up together. He remembered the kid because they was in the same class. They were another set of twins. But the girl, one of because it was boy-girl twins, and then him and his brother identical twins. Something happened when they was kids where I probably wasn't paying attention. He took something, and he blamed it on the girl and got the girl in trouble because the teacher listened to her. And back then, in those times, they didn't like people of color. Like, these people were Indian, right? But the girl twin, she ended up dead. Murder unsolved. I'll be right back. I got class. Okay, so the little girl ended up dead. Had Rudy and Rain.
Good evening.
But the other twin ended up dead in the water. I think she was about 8 and stuff. But whole time, the drink waters and class ain't start yet. Like, obviously we would have to wait. Luckily my thing is mute. The whole time they were cousins, but remember, Thomas and Dominic didn't know who their father was because the mother refused to tell them when he used to ask, and then waited until she got sick with cancer because she felt bad to say something. But it's like her father didn't approve of her being around Indians because they were racist, right? The father was racist, but she wasn't. But it's like after your father died, you don't think when you had kids, you should tell your kids who their father was, but still in that town, everybody was being racist to the Indians and you didn't want to be associated with them. But like, and then Henry Drinkwater, their father went to war in Korea and he died. So it's like the father died, you're not really gonna know them, but they still have cousins and aunts. But it was almost as a way like they always knew that those boys, the identical twins, were their cousins. They just thought they knew and didn't want to be bothered with them. Like, I'm confused. It's 4:02. Where's the professor at? There was a rules like if 15 minutes go by and the professor don't come, you can log off and you can leave. In school, we deadass used to sit there and be like, all right, 15 minutes, y'all. That show was good. Dominic did everything he can to get his brother out of the facility, which it worked because he found out from the janitor, which was one of the Drinkwater kids, one of the twins, the last surviving twin, right? He was working there as a janitor, and he told him, he was like, they had a little meeting, like because they didn't know each other but much when they graduated. And he was like, if anything happens, you see anything, just give me a call. I'll keep a note of it so I could get my brother out of here. And then I think they was getting close to figuring out if they was gonna let him. But the thing is that it's like a whole thing. If you did something bad, you have to go through this whole process and you have to acknowledge what you did was bad and do you regret the decision? And if you say yes, then I guess you can leave. But if you say no, you're gonna stay. So during that process, the guy, he had called Dominic and was like, get your brother tested for HIV. That's crazy. You can't just call me out of the blue and say that without no more information. But he not supposed to be saying those type of things. He's supposed to just be working there, keeping his mouth quiet and going about the day. So he went up to the facility and said, I want my brother to get tested to make sure that he doesn't have anything. And it was like, well, what would make you think he would have something? Just test him. I just want to be sure he don't have anything. And then he seen him outside in the car, the janitor, and he was like, well, what would make you say something like that? What did you see? And he saw one of the other residents of the facility sneaking into his room multiple times. Sneaking into Thomas's room multiple times at night. But they did a report on it and they buried it. So it was a thing, but they never notified Dominic that this was happening. But it's like, you see me fighting so hard to get my brother out of here. Something happens and you don't notify me. It's ground zero for me to sue y'all because what happened if he tested positive? You lost your job, you lost your license, you can't work nowhere else. You gotta stay in hiding for years and you gonna give me this money. But he never really cared about the money. He never really sued for money. I was just with my brother. And then they were supposed to come to a hearing, I think Wednesday. It was supposed to be, Wednesday, October 31st on Halloween. Coming up to that thing, Dominic got into a car crash And then there was this lady that he was supposed to be fixing houses for because he did paint. He used to teach, but when things got bad, he just started painting houses and stuff like that. And also, he was doing the roof to this because she just kept calling him, can you fix it? Can you fix it? Can you fix it? Can you fix it? And it's like, you just can't keep calling me every hour to come fix it. When I have the availability to come, I will fix it. So he finally came to fix it. He said, I'll just do this one day. But mind you, one arm is in a sling. I'm confused. Where's the professor? One arm is in a sling, and he's climbing up the ladder, and he fell off the roof because the lady's husband came to the window and scared him. Because in the window, he wasn't really looking for the man. He was more so looking back into his life because it was more so like a symbol. His brother is the cursed version of him. He's the clean version of his brother. He's the mind. His brother's the messed up part. Like it was like that. And it was going back to where they wasn't until when they got to college when the brother really started showing signs of schizophrenia. Like, he was always emotional, but not until he got to college, and his hands was really shaky. He couldn't do his paper, so he sat up. Dominic sat up and wrote his brother's paper and delivered it, but he pretended to be his brother and delivered the paper.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, gotta go.
Good afternoon, Dr. Fry.
She's here. No batteries on the camera is crazy. I just blew my hair out and did 2 braids. My shows is back on today. What's today? Wednesday? Oh, it actually came on yesterday. The morning show with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, and then tomorrow, Reasonable Doubt, and then I think Sunday, Tulsa King. All back on in the same week. I'm so excited. I got some shit to watch to keep me occupied. Meaning that I don't got no work to do. Or if I have work to do, I can watch some shows at the same time. But let me go ahead and put this camera on the charger, and I'll see y'all in the next vlog.